And just so that the next episode has begun, welcome back to Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. I'm your host, MegaShadowFist. This is like a video game, this is like a commentary. Last left off, we were, being, I guess not really interrogated, but, you know, Blackwell's doing the mood killer as usual. Why am I saying as usual? I've only known him for like 2 episodes, and still. Anyway, a whelp such as you has no hope against my superior swordsmanship. This is a trial, not a sword fight, Prosecutor Blackwell. Ah, but aren't they the same? There's a perfectly good explanation for the lack of prints on the statue. You might recall that blood-stained cloth found in the scene of the crime. Well, it just so happens that the blood was the mayor's. Okay, I see. That's your argument, huh? I probably sound like I know how to counter that. I don't. So, what are you getting at? Are you stupid? Hone your mind, boy. Why was there blood on that cloth? Solve that riddle, and you shall see that the hole that you thought you found is but an illusion. Now, let's see. How was that cloth used? Was it used by QB as a head covering? To wipe up blood? To wrap the statue? It has his blood on it, right? So, Because I was going to... No, if it was wrapping the statue, then the statue wouldn't have very much blood on it, right? I was trying to think of a logic thing, but yeah, to wipe up blood. Maybe the cloth was used to wipe up as much of the mayor's blood as possible off the statue. No, wait, no, I didn't mean to wipe up the blood, I meant to wipe up, like, fingerprints. Oh, well, there's no penalty for this. And in the process, the culprit inadvertently erased the alderman's fingerprints as well. Yeah, that seems kind of silly. Like, why would he want to remove the blood?
Objection!
Is that what his objection sounds like? Okay, that sounds... Okay, yes, I get it. Restart, whatever. Okay, whatever. I'll do that later. Freaking, I need to restart my computer later because of an update. Anyway, yeah, that sounded somewhat English. That sounded vaguely English, I think. Anyway, maybe I'm just imagining the accent to confirm my choice of giving him an English accent. I don't care. He's keeping the English accent, ladies and gentlemen. You can whine all you want, but it's not changing. But the mayor did not bother to wipe away his own fingerprints on the murder weapon. Why would he wipe down one weapon but not the other? Careful now. Use what little brains you have left before you speak. Give me a do-over on that one, please. Now let's see. Yeah. Okay, by QB as a head covering. To wrap the statue? Why would he use it as a head covering? Am I stupid? I think I'm stupid. Let's wrap the statue. Maybe the alderman wrapped the statue in the cloth, but then, like, if he wrapped the statue, In short, he wasn't touching the statue directly when he used it to strike back at the mayor. Okay, but still... Oh, like... Precisely. Okay, so like when he said like wrap the statue, I thought like he meant like wrap the entire statue, maybe only part of it. I don't know. Precisely. Bully for you, boy. Bully? That was nothing. Apollo, don't let him start manipulating you too. You just closed the hole for the prosecution. I did. I did. Right. That a statue wrapped in cloth would leave no fingerprints is as plain as day. But this also proves that there are no holes in our theory of the alderman striking back. Oops. Fox and Eva statue updated in the court record. Okay, can we check the detail? No, we can't. No. Now, do you see how dull your mind is? I'll make sure to sharpen it next time. A particularly frightening inmate once told me that he always tenderly honed his blades before he went to work, like the samurai of yore. Samurai? Sounds more like a homicidal maniac to me. What's the difference, eh? Actually, he was working in the prison kitchen at the time. Wait, so the enemy was a murdering samurai prison show? Dude, that sounds pretty OP. Too OP needs nerfing. It would seem that the victim and his killer were the only ones there after all. I was kinda attached to that hole. Now what? Alright, we can just BS it as usual. Apollo, I just thought of something! If they didn't find anyone's fingerprints on the statue, who's to say someone other than the alderman didn't hit the mayor with it? That was actually my original argument way back when, but okay. Why didn't I think of that? Anybody could have not left prints on it. Then who, pray tell, struck the mayor with the statue? Please illuminate us with your wisdom, young lady.
There's only one answer! The real killer!
Prove the existence of this real killer, then. What evidence have you?
Oh, I'll give you evidence, alright?
By you mean me, right? Athena, are you sure about this?
To borrow your words, Apollo, I'm fine! Take a look at this! Black feathers and tracks allegedly from a yokai were found at the scene. I believe they're from the third party who struck the mayor with that statue.
Is the defense actually suggesting some sort of monster killed that alderman?
No, just a person in a costume! Why do people just seem to not know what a costume is in this universe? That's exactly what I'm suggesting!
Objection!
No, Athena, you just lost what little credibility we had left! Oh, man.
No, Athena, this is where you should have been like, no, I was in a costume!
Whatever.
Ah! Sorry, guess I got carried away.
Look, the simple solution is this, right? Like, look, there's an amazing Ninetales mask, right? That means that logic would dictate that there has to be a Tematoro suit as well. Oh, Jesus, man. Do I have to do with all this for? Actually, I do it all for them, don't I?
Sorry, guess I got carried away.
Mr. Justice, we have no time to deal with objections between members of the defense. Sorry, Your Honor. It's just, this kid's still, well, a kid. Hey, you're like, what, you're 23? You're 23, you're still kind of a kid yourself. Well, how old is he? Oh, we don't have a profile for him, do we? He's 23, like, that's not like a kid, right? But in the world of, like, in the world of attorney stuff, that's pretty young. Like 23, 24 is about average age of starting to become a lawyer, I believe, because it's like in the U.S. at least it's 4 years of college and 3 years of law school. Most people start when they're like 18 or so, 17, 18. So they'd be 24 or so. Anyway, sorry, Your Honor. It's just this kid's still a kid.
Ouch! You meanie! I'm reporting this to Mr. Wright.
I was like, wow, jeez, Apollo. So, is this court to believe the feathers and the tracks are from a yokai as you put it? Not exactly. No, Your Honor. I believe they are a fabrication. The real killer wants us to believe some sort of monster murdered the alderman. Interesting. And why do you suppose the killer who would do that? Why indeed? Mr. Justice, you seem as new to this as your partners. Ouch! This, I'm not reporting to Mr. Wright. Hoy, Fulbright, explain to his boldness what these brats are missing. You know, the who and why behind those feathers and tracks. What? You mean you can explain all that? Our investigation process without equal. I'm starting to think I chose the wrong profession. Very well, let's hear about these so-called yokai feathers and tracks. Alright, witness testimony, please. Witness testimony. Feathers and tracks. This entire case centers on one man's attempt to crush opposition to the municipal merger. Mayor Tim was panicked when the amazing Ninetale helped him embolden the protests, so he struck the villagers' fears by fabricating a monster. The strange feathers and tracks he planted made it look like a yokai was a killer. Excuse me. Those feathers and tracks stoked the villagers' fears. Absolutely, he knew exactly how to prey on their superstitious minds. Those feathers only gave weight to the idea that the alderman is slain by a demon. The accursed demon Tematoro, that is. Who? Tematoro, the legendary demon locked away in the village's forbidden chamber. From a young age, the villagers are taught to fear the great black-feathered demon, and thus were they blinded to other, more plausible explanations. What I say? Hold on for wrong voice. Hold on for a second. Before we start letting our imaginations run wild, isn't there someone else that could be considered a suspect? Mr. Justice, please explain yourself. On the day of the incident, there was a special event held at QB Manor, and as part of this event, there was someone dressed in the likeness of Tematoro. Obviously, this person is a much more likely suspect than any legendary demon. Objection! Yeah, that does sound vaguely English. Okay, maybe it's just my imagination. But seriously, yeah. Okay, you guys, all you non-believers out there, yeah, you guys are full of crap. Get out of my face. It doesn't sound English to me. No, yes, it does. You're lying. You're lying. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, Dullet, you are playing right into the killer's mind games. What? Listen here. The feathers and tracks were merely red herrings. The villagers believed the murder to be the work of the real Timothy. However, the police believe that the person in Timothy's suit is the killer. I feel like his accent changed. It's switching from being less like, I don't know. Ah! The defendant sought to sow this confusion in order to deflect blame away from himself. Yeah, yeah. However, he was knocked unconscious by the alderman. And thus, our mentally deficient mayor was caught red-handed at the scene of the crime. Objection! Do you honestly believe Mayor Timmo would do something so stupid? Objection! Objection! Yeah, that does sound vaguely English, okay? I'm gonna keep saying that for the rest of this series, aren't I? The evidence speaks for itself. Fulbright! Right, it was the mayor's last-ditch effort to stop the opposition before things got crazy. The Amazing Ninetales was feeling both the yokai crazy and the anti-murder movement. Plus, he's one of the better-known masked wrestlers and the hometown favorite. Thus, why the mayor panicked and set out on the path of injustice. But do the people of Ninetales really believe a yokai is behind the crime? Yokai sightings are an everyday event there, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I must say, a crime that preys upon innocent, impressionable minds. Just so, a particular silver-tongued inmate once had the following words for me. The innocent of heart are the easiest prey. I'm really hoping that, like, you know, like one of these inmates that Blackwell talks about is actually like one of the older characters. Like I'm just waiting for him to quote like Godot or something like blacker than a moonless night, hotter or better than hell itself. That is coffee. Godot. I'm not in this game though. Anyway, the innocent of heart are the easiest prey. You don't say. Was this inmate a con artist? No. He was framed for the murder of his beloved. I actually felt sorry for that poor chap. Chap! See? You see, Americans don't say that. Huh? Okay, we get it. Yeah. Look, man. Wait. So he wasn't the predator, but rather the prey? Yes. Well, now the defense may proceed with their cross-examination. Cross-examination time! Feathers and tracks. This entire case centers on one man's attempt to crush opposition to the municipal merger. Alrighty then, I hope you're ready, because I'm going to save. And I'm going to get some water too. Because my throat's getting rather dry, if I say so myself. Anyway, yeah, I already read that, so let's press it. Detective Fulbright. Okay, well, I was only half paying attention as usual. Okay, the entire case centers on one man. Okay, yeah, right. Detective Fulbright. Is the anti-merger movement really that strong? Oh, absolutely. They parade around in yokai costume shouting, "Down with Mayor Timma." And just the other day, they stormed Timma City Hall, claiming it was a den of vipers. But when the accused showed his face, the angry mob scattered like leaves upon an autumn wind. For you see, lowly yokai are no match for Timotaro, the dark lord of their kind.
Wait, are the villagers scared of Mayor Timma or Timotaro? I'm confused.
Probably both. I call it a Mayor Timotaro by accident, actually. I think he means Mayor Tenma. It's easy to get the wrong impression about the guy. Detective Fulbright, why do you suppose the defendant would commit such an act? Mayor Timma panicked when the Amazing Ninetales hoped to embolden the protesters. Hold it! The Amazing Ninetales. No one knows his true identity, right? I swear, like the gate, it cannot be this obvious. Like I feel like because like if it was, I feel like that's the type of thing the game would have made us prove ourselves, right? So if Apollo came to that deduction, that means there's more to it than that, right? Right? That's right. And he was a lone wolf, or in other words, he didn't belong to a wrestling federation. He appeared like a shooting star, defeating one Timma Town wrestler after another. And before anyone knew it, he was champion. Like the samurai of yore, surrounded thick with enemies, he cut them down one by one. It was a complete and utter loss of face for Tim Pro Wrestling. He was amazing. If ever there was a real superhero, it would be him. I dream of becoming a true champion of justice like him someday.
I bet Detective Fulbright would be a great pro wrestler. He could even team with Prosecutor Blackwell.
What would they be, like justice and punishment? Or like what? I don't know. A police detective and a prisoner in chains. That'd actually be a pretty interesting gimmick, actually. You know, I think people would actually pay to see that. I know I would. Right? Doesn't it sound like a good one? I think it does. So you do understand the greatness of that is the amazing Ninetales. So he stalked the villagers' fears by fabricating a monster.
Hold it!
Hold it! Did the murder and yokai evidence really stoke the villagers' fears? Absolutely! It had an immediate effect! The presumed return of the dreaded Tim Tuttle has them shaking in their boots. Oh my, is it really that bad? That superstitious law, it's as if Jack the Ripper had been set loose in their village. Jack the Ripper, also English. The mere thought of that demon lurking about is enough to spark a mass exodus. I see, that's a very persuasive argument. The mere thought of his honor buying into that and Simon with Psycho and Simon the Psycho Slasher's words. Makes me want to spark my own exodus out of the courtroom right about now. So you see, there can only be one reason why anyone would plant those feathers and tracks. The strange feathers and tracks he planted made it look like a yokai was a killer.
Hold it!
Press. Hold it, please. But it doesn't add up. If what you say is true, why top it off with murder? What do you mean? You claim that our client planned the yokai evidence to stoke the villagers' fears. If so, then why not stop there? Why murder Alderman Cuby? He actually does have a point there. Excellent point. It is, isn't it? So, Your Honor agrees there was no reason for the murder, correct? Objection! Perhaps the killing was on the spur of the moment. At the spur of the moment. You're saying it wasn't premeditated? From the outset, I had no intention of paying heed to any of your hobble. Your babble. However, the fact is, the man made a startling discovery. A startling discovery? Why don't I like the sound of that? Alderman Cuby's secret identity.
Apollo! I think Prosecutor Blackwell's figured out the Alderman's secret identity. But even if he has, why would it be a motive for the mayor to commit murder?
This is not good. This patch of fur is discovered at the crime scene. It's from the mask worn by the amazing Ninetales. Therefore, we conclude that this mask is at the crime scene. Oh my, but why would it have been there? The victim was a former pro wrestler and a member of the anti-merger movement. Need I say more? Well, could it really be? Gonna go to the completely wrong conclusion, aren't you? Your boldness has had an epiphany, I see. Pray then. Our victim, Rex Cuby, was amazing Ninetales, and the man's discovery of such was his motive for murder. No! Okay. Whatever. Order! Order! What a shocking development! Yeah, shocking, alright. It's shocking how you guys are so freaking stupid. Seriously. Everything is crystal clear! Oh, actually, hold on. I can just... A motive clearer than crystal clear!
What do you do now, Apollo?
I didn't think they'd tie the Alderman's secret identity to the mayor's motive for murder. At last, we reach my real point. Why did the Alderman have to forge a secret identity? Does it not pique your interest, your boldness? I admit it does. It is hard that he had to create this other persona. I'll go past you guys in the next episode.